Hi everyone, and welcome to another one of my tips and tricks videos. For this video I'm going to talk a little bit about liquin, which is a painting medium for oil paint. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I use it for my clouds. This comes in really handy for doing a lot of layers in your paintings, and that's what makes a great painting a lot of time, is to have a lot of layers on top of each other. A lot of transparent layers so things show through and you get a lot of texture and depth in your painting. When you're painting with oil paints, if you use liquin, which is a painting medium that thins out the paint a little bit, makes it a little more transparent, you can create a lot of nice washes in your paintings, especially landscapes and clouds. It's also great for skin tones and things like that. So basically what it does is it'll thin the paint out, make it more transparent. It also makes the paint dry faster, and that's really important because if you want to do a lot of layers, you don't have to wait so long in between each layer for things to dry. If you use liquin, mix it in a little bit, your paint will dry faster and you can add more layers. So the painting behind me, I'm doing a large cloud painting, and what I like to do is start out with dark colors, and then I layer on the lighter colors over and over, and that way I get a lot of texture. And since the layers are transparent, you get those darker colors showing through, and it creates all these nice little shadows and things like that. So I'm going to zoom in and just show you a little bit how I do a few washes with liquin. Okay, so I have my palette here, and I've got some titanium white and I've got some liquin here. You really don't need a whole lot of it. Basically all you have to do is just grab a little bit with your brush, and then you're thinning out your light color. As you can see, it makes it a little more fluid. And then once you have that nice fluid color, you just come up to whatever you're painting. In this example, I'm painting a cloud, and you just put on these thin little layers. And you pay attention to your light source and where you want contours to be, and how your cloud is taking shape. But basically what you want to do is build up these nice thin layers, so that way the darker colors, as you can see some of the darker colors down here, they show through, and it creates all these little textures and shadows, and it makes the cloud look more realistic. Because if you look at a cloud in nature, there's really not just one bright color and then one dark color and like a little transition in between. There's a lot of little variations in color even within the bright colors and dark colors. So by using the liquin, I can create these little layers of color, and then I can wait a couple hours and it should be dry enough where I can add another layer. It's not just something you can do really quickly and add a bunch of layers. But if you really want to work on a painting where you have a lot of detail, texture, and depth, it's nice to create a lot of transparent layers. So that's basically how liquin works. It thins out the paint, makes it dry faster, and you can create nice washes. Like I said, I like to use dark colors first, and then use the light washes on top of those, and that will create a lot of depth and texture. So just to recap, it's the kind that I use is Winsor & Newton Liquin Original, and it's kind of like a gel medium, and you mix it in with your oil paint just a little bit. The more you mix, the more transparent it's going to be, so you have to try to gauge on how transparent you want your layer to be, and then add accordingly. It is kind of an expensive medium, but it lasts a long time because you don't have to use a ton of it when you're painting. So that's my tip for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.